The price of bad education is the 14th video in the series. Why South Africa is getting poorer. There's a ledger that no one likes to open. It's the nation's balance sheet of wasted human potential. The cost of children who never learn to read properly, of graduates who cannot find work, of classrooms that are buildings without instruction. This is a financial crisis, and it's quietly, relentlessly eating our future. Education is not charity, it's infrastructure, the very foundation of productivity, innovation, and economic resilience. A well-educated nation compounds returns for decades, higher earnings, fewer social costs, stronger entrepreneurship, and faster growth. A poorly educated nation pays in unemployment, lost output, and opportunities never born. Let me be blunt with a single sharp fact. More than a third of South Africa's youth are not in employment, education, or training. They are neither building skills nor contributing to the economy. That NEET rate for young people is measured in tens of thousands of young lives at risk and in lost billions for our GDP. This, according to Statistics South Africa. We celebrate a headline, a record matric pass rate here, a ministerial photo op there. Yet beneath the celebratory statistics lies a deeper problem. International assessments reveal many students don't meet basic literacy and numeracy thresholds. In the 2023 TIMSS assessments, South Africa ranked near the bottom globally, with children lacking basic mathematics and science skills. These are not abstract numbers. They forecast a future where local industry lacks the pipeline of skills it needs to grow, according to Le Monde.fr. Think of the economy as a factory. If schooling is the conveyor belt that feeds the factory with skilled workers, then poor schooling is a broken belt. Employers cannot hire people who aren't literate, numerate, or trainable. The result? Firms automate, invest abroad, or close. Unemployment rises, growth stalls, the country's taxes fall, and the state's ability to invest back in schools dwindles. A vicious, self-reinforcing cycle. The evidence is blunt. International and regional tests such as SACMEC and TIMSS show stark regional disparities and persistent low learning outcomes in South Africa. Children in well-resourced schools grow into engineers, managers, and entrepreneurs. Children in under-resourced schools have higher dependency ratios, need greater social spending, and lower output, according to ccmec.org+1. And that is why education is a fiscal imperative. Studies and economic modeling show improving educational attainment can materially raise GDP growth. When students master basic skills, their lifetime earnings increase, businesses become more productive, and governments collect more tax revenue, funds that can be reinvested into health, transport, and further education. The World Bank and regional analyses have repeatedly concluded education reform is one of the highest return public investments a middle-income country like ours can make, according to worldbank.org+1. South Africa carries one of the highest unemployment rates in the world, even though statistics understate the pain. When schools fail to give people employable skills, the result is measurable. More welfare spending, fewer taxpayers, and a profits-to-loss story for any economy serious about growth. Reuters and national agencies report persistently high official and expanded unemployment rates that trace back to skill shortages and educational mismatch. But let us be honest, the problem is not only the schools, it is the policy, management, and priorities. Investment too often chases headline projects while classrooms go without textbooks, while teachers go untrained, and while sanitation and basic infrastructure remain absent in many public schools. Political cycles favor flashy, short-term wins, while education reform demands patient, sustained commitment. The cost of that impatience is paid by future GDP. The World Bank's work on South Africa shows raising educational outcomes is central to breaking the country's low growth pattern. Economic estimates suggest even modest increases in learning outcomes can shift long-term growth trajectories, the difference between a country trapped near 1% growth and one moving steadily toward 3 to 4%. The compounding effect over decades translates into hundreds of billions of rands in lost output that could have funded hospitals, roads, and business development. Imagine a bright student, curious and ambitious, who leaves school unprepared. That one life becomes not only a personal tragedy, but an economic story repeated thousands of times across the country. Each squandered talent is a failed return on public investment. Money spent on basic education that produces no economic uplift. So, what must be done? We need a three-part remedy: fix the foundations, align incentives, and measure what matters. There is also a clear role for the private sector and philanthropy. Apprenticeship programs, public and private skills partnerships, and employer-led training can bridge the gap between education and employment. When business invests in teacher training, curriculum design, and internships, the returns are shared. Firms gain competent employees, and students gain pathways to work. Every year we delay reform, the bill compounds. But the reward for action is enormous. Better education means higher employment, lower crime, greater innovation, more startups, higher exports, and a healthier tax base. It means a stronger rand because the economy is more productive and resilient. It means dignity for millions of families. This work is not built for a single press conference or election cycle. It is patient, stubborn, and relentless. It asks that we invest in the quiet, in textbooks, in teacher training, in early grade reading rather than the loud. It invites us to be architects of future prosperity rather than spectators of decline. The ledger is not yet closed. We can still add new lines. Gains from reform, children lifted, talent unlocked. But if we continue to treat education as a line item rather than the engine of growth, we will be judged by a future that could have been different. The numbers will not lie. Poor education begets poverty, strong education begets prosperity. So here is the conclusion and the plea. Treat education not as a budget expense, but as the nation's highest leverage investment. Measure learning honestly, fund schools relentlessly, train and respect teachers, and demand that every child leave primary school able to read, write, and do math. Do that, and the balance sheet will turn. Do not, and our children will carry photocopied dreams while the world passes them by. Bad education, my South African brothers and sisters, is why South Africa is getting poorer. Please like, share, leave your thoughts in the comments section. Follow and subscribe, because together we can build a better South Africa.